he'd say about that? Bobby Axelrod doesn't grow mom and pop shops. He buys them out, turns them out.
That can't happen with this one. Well, sounds like your idea doesn't fucking work.
Why didn't you anticipate the tsunami?
Maybe I should have, when that underground earthquake hit off Mozambique. Strange conditions bring strange results. That's what brought this on. You knew right then, but you couldn't act. Maybe you would have used your experience to think more globally. Maybe you would have been cautious, de-risked, the mature move.
Is that a dig?
It's not. You have more experience. You connect points I don't even know to look for. I understand how hard it is to have things inside you that you can't communicate. I can't imagine how hard it must be to know how to say them and still not be allowed to. And yet, you are not allowed to.
Have you heard me direct any trades?
The people out there don't know who they're looking to. Since it can't be you, it needs to be me. If you can't live with that, I can be the one who leaves. You'll probably make up the losses, but get yourself banned for life or worse.
I'm leaving. And I'm taking the $2 billion. I'll send instructions shortly about what to do with it. I didn't like you kicking me out.
I apologize if I was rude.
I don't give a fuck about rude. It showed you were distracted. How do we do today?
Just executed a huge pipe. We're going to Arba Southeast Asian Sugar Company.
Fun.
If all my projections hold, we're still down 5% overall.
Anyone else would have lost 12 or done something stupid to get even. Booking the loss was the only way. I'm not pulling the $2 billion. It's yours to invest.
I really thought you didn't trust me. That's why you were in the office looking over everyone's shoulder.
I was in the office because, as of now, I don't know what else to do with myself. And as much as I can trust anyone with my name and my money, I trust you.
I am irrelevant. You want the money because you want the stake, the control? You need the game to remember who you are. I've decided how I'm going to invest that $2 billion. I'm going to diversify. Invest in outside funds. I'll hear pitches, among them your hand-picked favorites. And after I give them the money, I'm going to be a passive investor.
Thank you. You're not doing this because I need it. You need it. You're giving me a place to play so I stay off your field. And you want the benefit of my moves on our bottom line in case there's another disaster. I'm your hedge.
You told me to clear the positions. I didn't just clear 25% of them. You told me to broom the quants. I didn't just get rid of a quarter of them.
I told you you'd get the $1 billion. I didn't tell you when. You are CIO. It's an advisory role, so some oversight is necessary.
You're going to oversee my investments?
Call them suggestions.
And I'd like yours on buying a basket of natural gas names and pipeline companies.
Then my suggestion is don't. Regulations are too unpredictable and are hampering the industry.
What do you know about upcoming announcements that might mitigate that?
I don't know anything because I don't work in the government. But you know something about a coming ruling from inside?
Why don't you make the play? Jumpstart your new book.
Keep it. I'll come up with my own.
See yourself.
You can lead a horse to natural gas, but you can't make it invest.
I question why you're making this kind of move. Not based on analysis, but rather on unsubstantiated information. Is it because of the raise? Wanting to look prescient?
It's about the future of Axe Capital. Making it what it's supposed to be.
What's that?
Unassailable. Untouchable. Unbreakable. An institution that's TBTFW. Too big to fuck with.
Do you know how you sound?
Yeah. Certain.
What the fuck? This is where you would make some kind of reference to a gangster movie betrayal, as in I went to the barber and ended up on the floor like Joey Gallo, and you were the only one who knew I was getting a haircut.
I probably would, yeah, but Joey Gallo got killed at Umberto's. It was Anastasia who got it at the barber shop. Also, I didn't kill you. You were standing here in my office, not bleeding out on the linoleum.
Same difference in our world. What exactly did you do?
Green.
Bobby Axelrod. Now, I know I'm in New York. It's like seeing the Empire State Building or something.
Well, I'm gonna give you the view the tourists never get. The floor above the deck with the coin operated binocs.
What do I pay for that privilege?
No. The question is, what do I pay? How do I get you to break your letter of intent with Oscar Langstrad? Bought 50% of Breen's company at $200 million, which placed its paper value at $400 total. NASDAQ have already confirmed they are ready to accept our public offering at a valuation of $2.4 billion. Now that is $1 billion added to the value of our balance sheets and $800 million in gains this month. It basically solves our problem.
You sold out my relationship in order to do it.
No, you did. That's why you told me he was at your dinner. Congratulations, by the way. You've earned out on your advance and you're way into bonus already. Hey. I'm sorry.
No, you're not.
What happened?
$15 million.
You aren't going to start with a performance review, or?
Hell of a year. 15.
I was thinking 50.
How'd you get there?
AxeCap made $929 million this year. When you account for expenses, nets to almost 700. Seeing as how I ran the place for most of that time, less than 1/10 of the profits seems more than fair.
Might be, but then again, I was the client, so you're kind of comparing apples to my money.
I did more than just run your money. I kept us alive. I killed it at the idea dinner. I convinced the street that night and every day since that there was always someone at the helm. I got us through a natural disaster. I all but closed Kansas City before Ben Kim went thunder from down under on them. And let's not forget that I was key in making up the shortfall from Grigor's redemption, at great personal cost.
Still sore about Oscar?
Yet here I am, still ready to help lock down the raise.
About that. No, you're not. I don't actually need you in the pitches. For one thing, you bombed your first raise meeting with Grigor's lieutenant, bombed it on purpose. And for another, the investors need to know that you're here at Axe Cap, that someone's always at the helm. Besides, the raise is my thing. I'm thinking that the final number will be something just shy of half of what you're looking for.
I don't agree.
This isn't heavy betting on the Oberlin campus. We don't both have to agree. I say what it is, you take it.
Yes, that is so, but still, I don't accept.
I never made that much at your age.
I've accomplished more than you had.
But you don't have your own shop. If you were ready for that, we wouldn't be having this conversation. I'd be looking at a tailor-shaped hole in the wall. 20 is as much as anybody's ever gotten out of me. Learn to be rich on that.
And I was beginning to think you were done teaching me.
Let's finish this later. Heard the dog?
No. It was indeed some party last night, but I fear it might be over.
Meaning?
I've been making follow-up calls to book the money that was pledged at the raise. I'm having problems locking it in.
What fucking problems?
Problems reaching people. They're dodging. I'm feeling like somebody slipped us a Cosby.
Where the fuck is Taylor? They're here before me most of the time.
Not sure. Sent a text this morning, didn't hear back.
And no Mafit today.
I figured it was the whiskey flu.
Fuck.
A new kind of organization, top down, but not imperious or impetuous, integrated, and you can make more than you do now with a partnership stake.
God damn it. When?
Now.
Taylor's making a move. They've played the Elmsley count on us.
So we wouldn't see their real cards. Fuck. Pretended to be one of us.
For just long enough to take our personnel and our capital. All of it.
Taylor fucking Mason. I'm telling you. But gorgeous. Like Kate Jackson hot.
You sure?
Pretty fucking sure. I looked right into her there eyes.
It'd be something of a necessity dealing with a sovereign wealth fund.
Taylor Mason, willing to compromise their steely fucking principles to get the loot. Well, I admire it. But I'm gonna stop it.
This could only be the introductory meeting. No fucking way they got to the Sheik in the first round.
I never let Taylor get to the Sheik.
Easy, big fella.
They're in my head. All the time. First I missed the coup, then the leader of the coup thinks they're sneaking in here and taking the sovereign funds meant for me. How you doing with the sovereign? Maybe we should scoop up everything they're looking to invest. Shut out Mason Capital. Yeah. That's your final term. No Taylor.
I haven't closed yet. They didn't react well to the idea of us keeping to our fee level. But we're going clubbing tonight, which you know is my métier, so we'll see what I can do. I'm heading out. I'm gonna trade out this funeral attire for...
The all-black uniform of the middle-aged warrior.
Exactly.
I'll stand by. Call me when you need reinforcements. Call me when it's over. Just fucking call me.
Copy, fratello mio.
Got something for you?
It's a giant Reggie bar, right?
Better.
Let's see it.
You lied. It's not better than a Reggie bar. There's no nougat.
Reggie Bar didn't have nougat either. But it was a thing of beauty. Like this. This is the can opener in the fallout shelter. Nicely done.
My pleasure. Enjoy.
Wiki me up to speed.
Taylor knows I'm front running their positions. They've figured it out. This is their solution to that. How they're gonna spin it to pick up the basis points that we were stealing.
Obvious. So obvious.
Nice spot for one of us to go over.
I don't want to be at war with you.
Yeah. I got that you were proposing armistice the second I looked at the algorithm. But you should have considered the joys of peace before you assassinated the Archduke.
It's a distraction, to me and to you. It prevents us both from operating at our full potential.
Oh. So you'd like to calm the blood feud for the sake of self-actualization?
I'd like to end it because it's the rational thing to do.
That's convenient. That you can fall back on what's rational just because you don't like the consequences of your actions.
Bullshit.
You're frustrated. Good. It's gonna get worse.
You're not seeing the board. You walked into a trap with Grigor, you bought into a worthless robotics company to deny me leverage, which I got anyway, and now you've killed a day going through a numbers game. And here you are.
And here you are, unable to operate unencumbered, waiting for the next attack, wondering where it's gonna come from.
Yes, sure, but you aren't able to operate freely either. You're planning attacks, then defending from a response. Let's stop, not waste ourselves on each other. Our time and energy are too valuable.
Is that all?
I'll offer you attractive terms to invest in my firm. The street will know that I am blessed by you, but also that I am giving you a look. In reality, I won't be giving you that look, and since I sealed our leaks, you won't be getting them on your own either. But the story will be enough for it to appear that you are in the dominant position.
Okay. Fine.
Can I trust you on this?
You're the fucking genius. Figure it out.
This is an order outlining which materials I expect to be turned over immediately. You have my card. We'll be in touch.
Listen, folks. My investment is entirely contingent upon you making this problem disappear instantly. I've got a meeting.
Shit. This was Bobby Axelrod.
Holy fuck, this one felt good. Oh, you think about how to entice a man, what he loves. Of course, it all starts with girls and money, but it gets more complicated from there. Yeah, cars, property, jobs, access to special doctors, schools for their kids, life dreams, goals. Sometimes it even gets spiritual. Vatican tours with the Pope, washing their feet, meeting the Dalai Lama, whatever.
And in this case, was it Vatican City?
This case? Oh, no. This case? No, it turned out to be girls with money. Hard Bob Beaufort is a film fan. Turns out he really loves the classics. Ladies, this is Hard Bob.
Hello, Hard Bob. I'm Lisa Ann.
I know. And you're...
That's right, Hard Bob. I am.
Well, this is not the zoo, Hard Bob. You can come as close as you want.
When I look at the shambles my life has become, from my firing, to my public disgrace, to my election with strings attached, to the destruction of my marriage, my family falling into disrepair. Did I make mistakes to cause it? Perhaps. But a truer reckoning is, it all tracks back to one source. One man. A man so corrosive, so virulently infective as to strip me of every good quality I ever had. My kindness, my empathy, my sense of justice, maybe even my ability to love. And that very man charged me with arresting you in order to force you back into his employ.
He wants me to come back to work for him at Axe Capital. He wants that.
Yes. Which gives us an opening. I don't want to force you. I want you to go back willingly, but as if I had, and I want you to help me take him down. Once and for all.
I should have known what would happen. I once confessed to you that competition brought on vertigo-like symptoms in me. Well, I certainly feel faint right now.
Tighten your stomach. It'll push the blood back up into your brain. You'll feel better.
Won't help my firm or my balance sheet, which you destroyed.
I didn't make you cook the books, though. That was all you.
I figured an extra quarter or two without redemptions and disruptions, and I could make a comeback.
No, we always think we can.
But then you had your friend waiting to arrest me, so I can't.
He's no friend of mine, believe me. Just a useful tool. And I wasn't gonna let him take you to jail, as long as...
Yes, as long as I come under heel.
Well, don't think of it like that. Or do. Whichever. But yes, you are coming back to me. You were such a worthy fucking adversary that even with a much smaller bankroll, you cost me my relationship and pushed me to a stalemate right until the very end. So, yeah, I want you on my side. Don't be forever. I'll walk away soon enough and your firm will have survived.
Will it have?
Well, it's gonna be up to you, but it can. Should. Still you.
So how would it work? I keep my own shingle?
Yes. Under my banner.
And you and I are going to, what, bullshit about ideas all day long?
Oh, we don't have to be best friends. Or friends of any kind. I just want your brain. And it won't all be bad for you. We'll preset a bonus structure, and you will know exactly where you will end up.
That will be a signed document.
It will. And we will also have a separate special document signed by Rhodes, too, that says at a date certain, whatever he has on you disappears forever.
I am not here because you forced me to be or because Chuck did. I am here as Chuck's operative because he wants to get you.
I know. Figured there was a good chance of it anyway.
How?
If you were really here because I forced you to be, your body language would be different.
I have tried to slump my shoulders.
But if it were real, you try to avoid showing me you were hurting. You walk with your shoulders back.
If you didn't trust me, why did you want me working for you?
Because I thought our goals were aligned, and I still think they can be.
Even after what I just told you?
You need to be here. Doing this not just for a living. Not just to keep your name strong in the business, but to feel alive. Maybe even to be alive. You need that feeling you get when you see what no one else can, and bet on that vision and be right. Because you, Taylor, are a profit-generating organism. You're just put together that way. That's what I need and why we are aligned. No matter your conflicted feelings.
And Rhodes?
Fight him off. Neutralize him.
And if I can't?
Fuck can't. We just agreed on who you are. The person who does.
Okay, I will. This drug is warping your judgment. This isn't the Limitless shit, it's the Scarface shit.
No, you're missing the train. Go see Victor, see if he has any more, and then climb aboard. I could use another supercomputer on the project. I'm thinking we trade the Asian markets all night long.
You've got to stop and ditch. My brilliant new analyst thinks she's suddenly bilingual, but she just made an elaborate lunch order on the phone with Chile.
Of course. What else would you say? If it's not quant or impact, you don't buy in. And that's if your motives even check out in the first fucking place.
I see. I know you haven't been completely sure about me, but ask yourself if you can trust me now, because I'm telling you, it's likely the socialists win in Chile, so you lose your government support for the planetary mining base there. And if you don't let me put your whole plan back in the box and cancel your meteor play before the trigger gets pulled, we're gonna take a massive loss. Fatal.
God damn it, why are you messing with me? You're trying to sabotage the bigger play? Am I supposed to trust you? How?
Think about this. You know financial loss and market inefficiency and just plain error offend me more than almost anything a human can do to me. If you listen to me and I'm fucking you over, you'll still have all that capital you freed up and you'll still be miles ahead of the competition, so you can take more of that stuff and come up with your next plan as well as kick my ass out the door. But if I'm telling you the truth and you go ahead, you're gonna lose $3 billion fucking dollars. And consider this success. Let's say you're right about this whole crazy plan. You somehow pull it off and harvest more gold, platinum, tungsten, and cobalt than the world has ever known. It will all end up as worthless as sand because it will glut the market. Scarcity is the only thing that gives that stuff value, and you will have fundamentally destroyed that.
Fuck.
I have had one, you know.
Bar fight?
It was just after seeing Y Tu Mamá También in a theater. I was all hopped up, and some kid, Willard Broxton, from my high school, went into his usual routine, ripping into me, and I just decided not today.
You throw the first punch?
The only punch, yes. And swore never again to give in to that emotion. I also haven't watched that movie again for fear of what it might provoke.
Like Axe and Magnum Force.
Yeah. Well, tell me, you don't usually traffic in tales of pugilism in cinema. Something you want to say?
There is, yes. You will see a loss from Mace Carbon on the books today. It will grow.
Those are fighting words. Was it because you had to look after our shop?
No, I can't blame Vigilantrix for this. And the loss isn't a one-time thing. We are going to carry it for a while. Prince and I put our heads together on the impact scandal.
Prince?
Wendy and I made a calculated risk to work with him because there was real long-term upside.
You mis-fucking-calculated. What happened?
Prince convinced me to take the short-term hit in order to rebuild Shine Lucence publicly and preserve the pristine reputation of Mace Carbon. Actually, that's not strictly what happened. I volunteered.
No, you didn't. Even if you think you did.
Yeah. And if you did, it's because he wanted you to. Tell it.
That's not how it happened. I think maybe the half-life of that Vigilantrix is making you angsty.
Nope. Born this way. Stoked it. Intentionally. I preserve it.
I know, but Prince, he almost ate the entire loss himself to buy me out of the company. But then I saw the sagacity in his plan and I insisted...
Textbook fucking manipulation. He played you and me by extension. He duped you into taking that loss, and now that's on my fucking sheet. I bet he'd already paired his position before all this going public with the story bullshit started. Sounds to me like an act of war.
Sounds that way because it is that way.
You know, that fucker made me believe he was laying down it. No, of course not. The old sneak attack from behind.
Is there anything I can say to get you to see it differently?
There is not. I didn't think you'd show.
I'm not scared.
I know what you did. That Boyd move with the cannabis company, it wasn't self-interest or a greed play. You fucking baited me. You once said to me you didn't think you learned enough from me yet. Seems like now you have. I thought we'd come together here.
You forced me back into working for you practically at gunpoint.
So along the way you thought you'd team up with Chuck to fuck me?
I decided it right from the start, as you know. I just forgot for a little while.
Uh-huh. Even though it was me that took you in? Just another fucking math nerd? One with potential, to be sure, but one of many.
If you had more than one of me, you'd have gotten rid of the actual me long ago. But you didn't, because I am a special fucking case, as you might put it.
Not so special you didn't need me to platform you. I propped you up, brought you along, gave you the keys to a fucking space shuttle. I thought you wanted to get rich together, and I let that fool me. But your problem, as an investor, is that your idealism is at war with your profit drive, and one day that will ruin you.
Well, your problem, as a boss, as a mentor, as a person, is you see my work product, my company, me, as yours to do with as you see fit.
And so now you've killed your mentor. Congratulations. Must mean what? Now you're strong. You can lead.
Maybe. I did think I'd feel better about it, though, have some sense of victory or accomplishment.
You never did react well to competition.
No. But I have come to realize I'll do anything for my own autonomy.
So you figured you'd let the government freeze everything that's mine, and then go to your pal Chuck Rhodes and break off your piece and go off on your own?
Something along those lines. But now all I really feel is sadness. That I want to thank you, as ridiculous as that is. And I think No, I am sorry. Sorry that it came to this.
You're sorry? Shit. You'll get over it. The amount of time you spend feeling bad over slitting your enemies' throats will get shorter and shorter in the future until it's barely a fucking blip. And if you don't get over it, well, you can bring me some cookies to Wallkill Correctional on visiting day.